What's up, YouTube? Welcome back to Volts Comics and More. I'm Alex. Just a quick warning before this video officially starts. I'm going to be giving a full-on spoilery review for Ant-Man and the Wasp. So if you guys didn't go see it before opening night, today is technically the day it came out. Last night, probably most theaters were showing it as an early release. I went to go see it yesterday, so I'm just wanting to get it all out right now while I still have it fresh in my head. But yeah, just so you guys know, it's going to be a full-on spoilery review of the movie. So if you guys haven't seen it, go ahead and, or if you guys don't want to know anything about it yet, go ahead and drop a like on the video so it's saved to your videos and just come back to it later. I will be posting a second video later on today about something completely different other than Ant-Man and the Wasp. But yeah, just wanted to give you guys a heads up, and I'm gonna start the video now. So anything past now, it's gonna be spoilers for Ant-Man and the Wasp. You've been warned. Alright, so for any of you who are still with me, thank you very much. Again, this is going to be a full spoiler review for Ant-Man and the Wasp. Try to get that straight. So, to start things off with, I'm just gonna flat out say it was a really good movie. Honestly, I kind of liked it a little bit better than the first one. You did kind of get to see a lot more of, they played around a lot more with like shrinking and growing, and just a bunch of like pin particles and what Ant-Man can really do, which pretty much everything that we've seen in the trailer is pretty much stuff that is in the movie. So it wasn't anything like an Infinity War where they showed the Hulk in the Battle of Wakanda scene and the Hulk wasn't there. So they didn't really tease anything in the trailers that they didn't put in the movie. So that was really cool. So much stuff happened. So basically, during the entire movie, everybody's trying to get a hold of the building for various reasons. If you remember in the trailers, the building they are rolling around like a suitcase. That is pretty much what everybody's after in this movie. But again, for different reasons. It takes place, it does mention that Scott Lang has been under house arrest for 2 years, and he has 3 days until his house arrest is up. So, between the time of Civil War and Infinity War, 2 years has passed. During which time, you know, we've seen in Infinity War that Captain America had started his Secret Avengers. We've also seen that other movies have kind of moved on, such as Spider-Man and Black Panther. I mean, of course, Guardians of the Galaxy, but that kind of took more place after the first Guardians. But so we have seen people move on from Civil War, and during that time between Spider-Man, Black Panther, whatever's happening with Captain America and his Secret Avengers, whatever's happening with Ant-Man, or what Scott Lang has been up to these past 2 years, yeah, it's all been 2 years leading up to there. So it didn't really say much specifics. Scott has this like old phone, pretty much like Captain America does for, or Tony Stark does for Captain America. And he's using it to keep in contact with Hank, but they don't really want anything to do with him. They don't really answer his phone. The only time that they actually really answer is when Scott is telling them that he's had a dream, and it is a weird dream and everything. he had a dream about someone playing hide and go seek with a little girl. Very vivid, about the little girl hiding in the wardrobe and everything. And basically, it turns out that that little girl was Hope, and who he was seeing it from Janet's eyes. And it was revealed that Janet, when Scott was in the quantum realm, Janet had placed like a map, or like a sign in his head that, hey, I'm still alive, I'm still down here. And she used Scott Lang as a way to relay that message to Hank Pym and Hope Van Dyne. So this entire time, they know that they have to get into the quantum realm, and they've been trying to open it, like, because Hank knows that it's possible to come back. So they've been working on that. Now they just have concrete evidence that, hey, she's still down there. Let's speed this up. Let's get down there. Let's grab her. Cool. They need an extra part, and that's when they go for help, and to build the machine. I don't really want to give it all away. But long story short, basically, the deal kind of doesn't go as planned, and there's a couple different bad guys. There's the Ghost, and there's also Sonny Birch, who is the guy that they're pretty much getting their parts from for this machine, and the whole thing just goes sideways, and he's after the building for his own personal reasons, as well as the Ghost for her own personal reasons. Now, just so you know, in the comics, the Ghost was a guy, and I think I've kind of touched on this before, so they do kind of like flip that around, and it's not Bill Foster's daughter. It's her parents died in the explosion that she was in. Somehow she got spared and absorbed all this quantum realm explosion that happened. Had nothing to do with Hank Pym per se. I mean, it was more of a another scientist that was trying to study all this, and she got caught in that, and it was her father that was trying to study it, and something was going wrong. She didn't want him to be alone. She didn't want him to die alone, and she ran back, and her mom followed her. So both her parents got killed. Somehow she absorbed all this stuff, and it's noted towards the end of the movie that she's been healed. Like, that's why she wants the building. She wants the building because, and Bill Foster is the one who's putting all this stuff in her head. Like, Bill Foster, you kind of see him as a villain for a little bit, which is kind of weird. In case you didn't know, Bill Foster plays as Black Goliath in the comics. So it's kind of odd to me that he was first almost seemed like a villain. Like, they quickly diffuse that, though, because she starts talking about, well, Scott has a daughter and I could take advantage of that, and then he's like, oh, whoa, wait, no, come on, now we're going too far. And then, you know, towards the end, he also realizes that, hey, we can't do this. We can't risk Janet's life and everything, because that's the whole big deal about it. Because Janet's been down there in the quantum realm for so long that once they bring her back out through this tunnel that Hank and Hope has designed together to basically a doorway into the quantum realm. Once they bring her back, Bill Foster. It's more of an educated guess than it is. it's more of a theory than it is fact, because when Hope comes out, or when Janet comes out, she can do much more than what they had originally planned. And when she comes out, she has like this healing power from the quantum realm. So she has new abilities, she has new powers and everything, but she comes back like she's her old self. You know, her mind, her chemistry, and everything didn't change. She loves Hank. She loves Hope. She's missed him so much, and it's a great family reunion. You know, they don't turn Janet evil or anything like that. So that was cool. But they want to absorb. They want to drain Janet of her energy that she has collected over all these years, and it turns out they didn't need to do that at all. And Bill Foster had come up with this idea, and then at the last minute he's like, no, wait, we really shouldn't be doing this. And Ghost just throws them off like over a rail, and just like, screw you, I'm going with this because I'm gonna be dead. Because that's why Ghost wants this. She is dying from this power, because this isn't just like in the comics. Now the power does work the same in the comics, but the effect is different. Like in the comics, Ghost is he's good. Like I don't believe he's ever had to worry about his powers like killing him. He just has them, and he's always had them, and he pretty much always will. But she, in the movie, her power, which, as I said before, is the exact same, works the exact same way as in the comics, but her power is actually killing her. She can turn invisible, she can go tangible, but she can't do it at the same time. So that's something that is extremely accurate and works the exact same way. She is basically, she's basically wearing the suit to try to keep it under control, but it's just not, it's too much now. Like it just keeps growing. Like it's slowed it down. The suit has helped to slow this process down, but now it's just kind of going out of control. But yeah, so I know I'm kind of jumping back and forth to different places. Another thing that I liked that they did was they kind of teased Steiner. And for those of you who don't know who she is, that is Scott Lang's daughter, Cassie. She ends up being a hero in the future. And she's like, if you remember when she talks about, well, maybe you need a partner, she was actually talking about herself. She wasn't talking about Hope. But she kept making little nods, like, you know, it'd be really cool to help you. It'd be really cool to suit up. It'd be cool to shrink. It'd be cool to do this. It'd be cool to do that type of thing. And she is definitely a little bit older, but, you know, not old enough to like suit up or anything. But she's a little bit older from when she was in the first Ant-Man movie. She's definitely a lot more curious about this. Like, she wants to get into it. And, you know, the relationship with her mom and Scott, and her mom's new husband, the cop, and everything from the first movie, all three of them are all, you know, like really good buddies now. There wasn't a whole lot of I felt like that there was less scenes with all three of them, but when they were all together, they were like all hugging and everything. So, you know, that relationship is completely patched up. The whole three-way relationship thing, whatever or 4-way, I guess. But it's all good. They're letting Scott have visitation rights, even with being under house arrest. You know, they know he's a hero, and but Hank and Hope are on the run. They're not happy about Scott for taking the suit. Scott tells them that, you know, well, it's okay, I destroyed the suit. And he's like, what? That was my life's work. And then later on, it's discovered that he didn't really destroy the suit. And Hank got mad again, like, why didn't you destroy the suit? Because it was used for criminal reasons. But yeah, it's pretty funny how they just kind of like go back and forth with that. His reaction, Hank's reaction to all that is hilarious. But you know, Michael Douglas, he does a really good job at Hank Pym, even though it is an older version of Hank Pym, but he still does a really, really good job at it. You get to see more of Giant Man, and yes, Scott Lang does have that new suit. It's very prototype, and he does run into some complications with it, so he kind of, that's where you get like that little kid Scott, where in the previews he hopes like, oh, if Cap could see you now. Well, you know, that's kind of where they get that from. It's because his regulator's kind of going off and stuff, so he's going from like the size of an ant to the size of like a 5-year-old to like the size of a skyscraper. So they do kind of play around with that a little bit. And it's true, if you guys have been hearing about what Luis has been doing, it's true, he does pretty much steal the scene. Whatever scene he's in, he's stealing it. And, you know, it's hilarious. It's pretty much what you would expect Luis to do from the first movie. And he does kind of go off the rail, you know, telling like stories and stuff like that about, you know, like they kind of like show flashbacks and make everyone's voice sound like Luis's voice. It's hilarious. It's just the same as like in the first movie. So they redo that joke kind of, but I think it'll go over pretty well. But so the biggest part though that's happened, like I said, this has been 2 years. This is all taking place between Civil War and Infinity War. I'd still suggest to go see Infinity War first, otherwise you guys aren't going to be able to. And I imagine most people who are going to go see Ant-Man and the Wasp has already seen Infinity War. But in case you haven't, for whatever reason, go see Infinity War first. Otherwise, you're not going to fully understand what happens at the end scene. So the first end credit scene. If you guys thought that I've been kind of rambling about spoilers so far, well, I would say this is probably the biggest spoiler of them all. So if you're still with me, awesome. But the first end credit scene, Scott Lang goes into the quantum realm to get a canister of this healing particles that Janet mentions. I assume Janet can't heal the ghost anymore. When Janet came back, one of the first things that she did was just heal the ghost, and you know, now she doesn't feel any more pain from like training invisible and tangible and stuff. But Scott mentions, and you're kind of assuming at that point that the ghost is healed, that she's not going to be the ghost anymore. But then later on, Bill Foster kind of catches up with her as they're on the run, and he's like, "I'm not going to leave you," and she keeps telling him, "Oh, go, 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 go. You know, you're not a bad guy. You're not in trouble with the cops or anything. Just go. I'm only going to get you in trouble." He's like, "I'm not leaving you." And it's a very father-daughter, like relationship, but they're not father and daughter, but it is a very father and daughter like relationship. So they kind of hug, and that's kind of where they end that there. But like I said, you kind of expect it to be all said and done with the ghost. But then Scott is down there, and he says something like, "Oh, I got what we need for our new ghost friend, to help her, or to help our new ghost friend." So I assume that it's not fully fixed yet, whatever's happening with her. But they're working on it. Then while he's down there, he's trying to talk to Hope and Janet and Hank. There's no answer. So he tries, like, okay, very funny, guys, and, well, there's no answer. And he tries it for about 2 or 3 times before they actually, it's not Nick's scene, but they pan out of the quantum realm, and they show Hope, Janet, and Hank, all 3 of them, dusted. Snapchat got them, all 3 of them. So Scott is stuck down here in the quantum realm because nobody's up there to get him out. The ghost isn't there. Like, they're helping the ghost, but she's nowhere around, so we don't know if she got dusted. We don't know if Bill Foster got dusted, but we do know that the whole Pim Van Dyne family has just gotten dusted. So that's where they leave it. The second post-credit scene is talking about, well, they're not talking about anything. It's an ant playing the drums, basically. But there's something else after that. After all, like, when every single Marvel movie ends, or almost every single one, we're like, Iron Man will return, Captain America will return, Thanos will return, Black Panther will return, and it's a statement. It's a statement with a period at the very end. You watch closely. At the end of this one, you go, Ant-Man and the Wasp will return. Statement. Split second later, question mark. So they're kind of leaving it up in the air whether they will return or not. Of course, we all know pretty much everyone who's been dusted is going to come back. They're trying to keep you in suspense and saying, "Oh my gosh, is this really the end? Has the Pim Van Dyne family really been just? Are they dead? Is Scott Lang stuck down there forever?" No, I highly doubt that. But if you guys haven't heard yet already about people talking about, or like the directors and everything talking about, there is something there that they can use to get out, or to fix everything. There's supposed to be something in a movie somewhere where they can use it to fix everything. It's an idea that they can use to fix everything from Snapchat and stuff like that, which I'll get more into that in my next video. My next video, I will talk more about that end credit scene, about my predictions and my theories about what's going to happen, and all that fun stuff. So I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I hope you guys enjoy Ant-Man and the Wasp. Don't forget to subscribe, hit the bell, like, comment, share, all that fun stuff. I'll see you guys in the next video. Thank you so much for watching. Bye.